All right, everybody, good morning and welcome back to the KSR YouTube channel. It's day 2 on Vice Grip Garage's Chevelle. Today, we've got some wiring stuff to do, as well as, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the fuel pump setup, fuel cell setup that I know is gonna work. I know there's some baffles inside of that tank, but I wanna be 100% sure that he does not have any kind of problem on the burnout pad, or on the drag strip, or if he ever decides to road race this thing. The fuel setup that I'm thinking about, just like I did in the Dale truck, is not going to have any problems whatsoever as long as the fuel pump doesn't fail. Gotta leave a little bit of question mark in there. But we're all ready to go. It's been sitting here cold. We pushed it out this morning. Travis did some cleaning so we could have a nice clean spot to work. Has not been run this morning. You didn't crank it, did you? No? Okay. Let's see how my cold start works. Oh, I need some more fuel. Oh, you know what? I forgot about the trick fuel pump setup. I'm like, it's like it didn't have any fuel in it. Now let's see if it's got fuel. And let's see if it cranks. So it might need a little more tweaking just with the crank up fuel, but we're doing a data log, get this thing inside, and then we're gonna get to work. So we want to give you guys a good show down at Cletus and Cars this weekend in Bradenton. If you're local, you better get there. We will be there on Friday for 2.4 hours of lay mullets, where I'm going to be whooping up on Derek in the race. Yeah. Sorry, Derek, it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. Talk to you. Anyways, we got to be silly sometimes, right? So, and then Friday night, we will have both Sean's Nova and Derek's car in the fan area behind the stands. Plan is to have Derek and his merch booth set up right beside our merch booth. If you guys have been, you know where we kind of set up right on the entrance down into the infield. So hopefully we're gonna get all that taken care of. We'll be side by side and we'll be able to, you know, show you guys some of the cars, or you guys will be able to look at the cars before and after and during the 2.4 hours of lay mullets. So it's time for us to get to work. Travis is going to do some wiring on it. I'm going to do some other stuff. I got to get actually yesterday's video edited and uploaded, and then I got to get some parts coming for this thing for some other trickeries, but it's time to get to work. What in the world is going on over here?
Recycling.
Recycling?
Recycling fuel.
So everybody, things have escalated kind of quickly on the Vice Grip Garage Chevelle. So I decided to commit to the extra fuel pump surge tank idea. We've got plenty of time to make this happen. I mean, car's got to be in the trailer in like 8 hours. And I got to dyno tune it and install some trick new suspension pieces that I'll show you here in just a minute. But yeah, plenty of time. Just got to weld up tank, do some plumbing, add a flex fuel sensor. See what kind of miracle we can pull off. And we got to try and get Sean's car ready to go so I can drive it tomorrow. So we also found some problems with the radiator fan. In fact, we wired up the new fan control strategy that we like to do here, and we had some, with that magic smoke out of one of our new wires. We found out that when this thing, I had forgotten that it had blown the belts off of it and kind of tied up the fan wiring. Well, that had some electrical wires connect each other, and so one of the fans was a direct short. And then while we were examining that fan, see, we got CJ here working on the radiator. And then where's the shroud? Shroud? Oh, okay. So I had one fan in stock that fit. I had to drill some new holes to make that work, but I had one fan in stock. Got another fan coming because one fan was destroyed electrically and the other fan was broken mechanically. Like the cage of the fan was busted up. So we're thrashing on the fans. We got all three of us working on this until we get it at least back to the dyno. Then it'll be my job on the dyno. We also got to load the trailer up full of merch and our tents and our stickers, because I got to go win the 2.4 hours of Les Mullets tomorrow. And I want my stickers on the car to show you guys that it's my car. Anyways, we're gonna get on to work. Yeah, get back to work and we'll see you guys in a little bit. You might be asking, why are we doing all this when it's a new cell? It's got baffling in it, and you can see we got some baffling in there, but you can also see there are holes in that, and the level that it's going to start in this baffling is, you know, only the amount that's in the fuel cell. So if if there's only this much fuel in it, well, we still have the ability, so when he accelerates, fuel runs to the back, or he decelerates, the fuel runs to the front, and the fuel just goes out of the hole there. And the problem with that is, as soon as a fuel injection pump sucks air, the fuel pressure dies. Not only will that trigger the safety that's in the system, it'll basically just shut off. So what we are doing, we're building a very narrow, tall cell that's going to be fed by a pump that's bolted to this. So we'll put this down in here. That fits down in there. Our wires go through there. The output is the same size as the old hoses. So if the Aeromotive pump dies or something like that, which I haven't really had one die, he'll still be able to hook up to this fuel pump and do the drag and drive, get from track to track, run on the main tank. And another little trick we've got is there's gonna be enough fuel in the surge tank that he'll be able to make passes at the drag strip, or at least a pass at the drag strip. So the thought is, he'll be driving on the drag and drive events, driving on the street with this fuel pump. We have an interrupter switch on a little switch panel that Travis made yesterday. And when he gets close to the track, he'll shut the fuel pump off in here, which will start draining down the level in the surge tank. And then when he gets to the racetrack, he'll fill the surge tank up with race gas, E85, whatever he's gonna have in the surge tank or the race fuel cell. And then he'll already be blended over. We're gonna have a flex fuel sensor installed on the return line, so the tune will automatically do its thing on the swap over to the different fuel. It'll make it really easy to do the drag and drive events. So that's the reason why. this cell is big enough that, you know, if it's got 1 gallon in it, you know, the level is going to be down here, and we stand a pretty high chance of fuel starvation. But if we've got a gallon in our little box that's only, say, a 6 by 6 inch box that then comes up, say 18 inches, well, a gallon in there, you know, the fuel level may be up to here and the pickup's down here, so it still has plenty of fuel to not starve the fuel cell, so it still has plenty of fuel to not starve the main fuel pump for doing burnouts and racing and all that fun stuff. So gonna get back to work, show you some of this stuff we got going on, and be back in just a little bit. Right, so here is our fancy schmancy surge tank, and now, if you guys can maybe see this a little better now, but if there's a gallon in here, you know it's going to be somewhere up to there. Where on the other fuel cell, a gallon would have it, you know, barely above the bottom, so it would be a whole lot more prone to fuel starvation. So now we've got to put both of those back in the car. I guess you just got the other fuel pump installed and everything? Mm-hmm. Sweet! So what will happen now, this line, this hose will fill, give me that back. This hose is the fuel pump, will fill into here, which will fill up this surge tank. This will just be a return back to here, so if it fills all the way up, because this is going to be completely sealed, it'll have a cap on here, So then as soon as the fuel level gets up into here, there's no pressure in here because as soon as it fills up, it's just gonna dump back into this tank. And then this will be the return from the engine, so that this is its own self-sustaining fuel system that's aided by the big tank. So what we will be able to do is turn this pump off, drain this pump down while he's getting close to a track, and then fill this up with whatever racing fuel he's gonna use when he's drag racing. And this is 2.6 gallons. So figure 2.5 gallons by the time we put the fuel pump in it and all that stuff. So that's kind of all that. Pretty neat little trick, similar to what we did in the Dale truck. The Dale truck one I did was round. Took a whole lot longer to fabricate that. So vice grips is square. And that's that. All right, the next modification we are doing to vice grips independent Chevelle is some brand new race car inspired rear control arms and an anti-roll bar.
Did you show them your fancy smancy
My extended filter pickup.
shaft extender?
Shaft extender 9000. Actually, it's the fuel picker upper extender 9000. Yeah, something like that. So anyways, we got some trick rear suspension parts from the guys at TRZ Motorsports. Either hit them up direct for any of your stock suspension needs for drag racing cars. We are dealers for TRZ Motorsports too. If you guys want any of this stuff for your own car, hit up sales@winwithksr.com. Tell us what you need. We'll get you an estimate sent over, get the stuff on the way for you. But they do rear control arms for Mustangs, G-bodies, A-bodies, all kinds of stuff. And then they've got these anti-roll bar kits for all kinds of different stuff. This is their A-body width one. We've got one of their Girth Brooks anti-roll bars in Cletus's car. Jimmy's car is also getting a Girth Brooks. Rick's car has a bolt-in F-body anti-roll bar and panhard bar relocation kit. That's a real trick piece, and it's been mid-sevens already in Will Stevenson's old car. Bolt-on anti-roll bar kit. It's freaking awesome. Anyways, enough about telling you guys about how awesome TRZ Motorsports stuff is. We're gonna get all this put on so that we can try and stop the old super duper lean that these A-bodies like to do when you get some real power and some traction. Now for the burnout stuff, won't be a huge difference. Maybe the car will be a little flatter, especially with the Hotchkiss front sway bar that Derek put on. But when it comes to taking this thing to the drag strip, it's gonna leave the line nice and level now, because how the power comes down the chassis in a car, as the drive shaft is twisting, it's trying to pick the car up on the driver's side by pushing the driver's side tire into the ground, while it's trying to pick the passenger side tire up. It's just the physics of how the load is brought down the drive line, and then what happens when the drive shaft and the pinion gear interact with the ring gear. That torque is why a car lifts up on the left front more so than the right front. Well, for traction, obviously we want both tires to be pushing the car forward equally, so you can go faster with two tires pushing the car than you can with one tire pushing the car and the other tire just kind of along for the ride. So having said all that, we're gonna get cranking putting this on and then get this thing back to the dyno. All right, well, yeah, it's dark behind me. We are finally completed with our fancy schmancy fuel system, which might be a little overkill for this car, but you know what? It is not going to fuel starve during a burnout now. Go ahead and cycle it and let's see if... Well, the end tank is still not working. Now what? Oh, is the key off? Or the switch off? There it is. You must have the switch off. You have the switch off?
I'd have gotten that text message too. Now the intake ain't working. Did you turn it on, Kevin?
All right, cycle it again. That sucker moves some fuel, that 450. Woo! Yeah, that sounds ugly, don't it?
That's what killed the gears.
All right. Well, put that down in the car and let's see if she'll crunk. I'm gonna need you to sit in it so I can do the anti-roll bar. Is it all the way on the ground?
No.
All right, so now that we got our, let's see if our fuel level is draining back in like it's supposed to. We cycled the key a few times. Or a flashlight. Oh yeah, right to the top. Sweet. So this pump filled up that tank. Fills up, bloop, goes back into there. You in the car?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if it cranks.